here today at Scribner Bend Vineyard. We are talking to one of the assistant winemakers. I've tasted almost all of your wines here over the years at Scribner Bend, and I love this Black Hat Tempranillo. And what can you tell me about this wine, because it's really a special wine for the region, and there isn't...
It is. We planted that. I love to actually tell this story. About 15 years ago, we planted that grape, and we told all our friends across the river, all the other wineries, that we were doing so. And they looked at us and they said, well, you're stupid. Nobody knows what that grape is. Nobody's going to buy it. You're never going to be able to sell it. After the 3rd International Gold Award that we won on that wine, one by one, they came over to ask us what clone we planted. And like true grape farmers, we totally told them all the wrong ones. So you can go get Tempranillo across the river and it'll taste nothing like ours. I have to say, this is where a lot of experiment comes in. It's about the clone. The clone that you have on top, which is the stuff that's spitting out all the grapes, and the rootstock on the bottom, which on all these vines and on any vine that you'd ever look at, you could never see the rootstock. It's actually a separate graft. So all the stuff that's spitting out all of these lovely grapes on top, these are French varietal. There's something called Vitis vinifera. On the bottom, here's a good example. Right here you see this node going into the soil. This is the graft union of the actual French varietal, which is this, to the American rootstock, which is that on the bottom. Can never see it, but again, that's because all the detriments that live in the soil like to munch on all these type of grapes, type of wood, type of leaves, and especially the roots. So when we use the American rootstock, we don't have as many as those detriments, particularly phylloxera and nematodes. So this is Chardonnay. Let's say I wanted to put a Pinot Grigio on there instead. What we'll do is we'll take a piece of budwood, and this is dormant over the year. We get this from a nursery. You take a chisel. You make one split across the top. What you do is you actually stick this new varietal in that split, wrap some tape around it, wrap some tar around it, and then within about 30 to 60 days, this shoot will actually become this arm, which will bear the new spurs, which will bear the new fruit.
And then we'll have Pinot Noir on a Chardonnay vine.
On a Chardonnay, yes, exactly. And you can do that multiple times over and over and over again, as long as the vine is healthy. This is the second crop. Things like this. So much growth is happening.
Tiny little bunch of grapes.
This tiny little guy, yeah. There's so much growth happening that instead of a tendril producing, it actually produced a tendril with berries on the end. And this is just very characteristic that our vines are very vigorous and they like to shoot out a lot of crop.
Well, let's just go pour you a little bit more wine, and then I want to have you tell us about
Tempranillo?
About this wine in particular. So we're here and we're talking about the Scribner Bend Black Hat Tempranillo, one of my favorites.
It's one of the oldest varietals that we've had, rather than our Chardonnay, which have been up here for a long time as well. It's a really nice light red wine, but still a bit of alcohol. I have to say too, it's the only skin on any variety that we have out there that doesn't emulate a heavy, heavy black pepper taste, which is good for us because I sell this as our white wine drinkers red wine. Really easygoing fruit, lots of blackberry, black cherry, little vanilla, cinnamon. There is a little black pepper kick on the back end, but it's because we add a little bit of our Merlot into it to give it a little more spice. And if you like that vanilla note in here now, you hold on to it for another couple years, then it'll just keep heightening up. Smoother tannin structure. It's very, very nice. It's one of the only wines that we make that you can hold on to for, I would say, about 10 years, and it would just keep getting better and better and better over time.
Well, cheers to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending a little time with us today here.
Of course.